is pretty predictable for those who know me. We just got a Pokemon Presents the other day.
Oh, you're not talking about chicken wings?
That's you, not me. But
Chicken wings.
so with that, we got the announcement of Gen 9.
So hyped.
Also known as Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Super excited for this.
I'm getting Scarlet.
Yeah.
Scarlet letter.
I think, well, first off, I kind of do want to talk a little bit just about the Direct as a whole, or the Presents as a whole. It's not Direct. Same thing, though. For the most part, it was predictable. Like, that's kind of the stuff I figured they were going to show, just kind of a lot of their mobile stuff, a lot of the, like Unite, Pokemon Cafe Remix, stuff like that. Like
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Can't forget about that magical
stuff like that.
thing.
And so, like, yeah, it's pretty all right, like, pretty predictable. And then they got to, actually, something I was really excited about, Legends Arceus stuff. They added a update to that called the Daybreak update, which isn't a huge update, but I played it last night, and it's really sweet, actually. So,
can you do me a favor and just kind of summarize what's different between that and the normal? Because I haven't played it yet.
So, yeah, it's actually kind of like, it's almost like a DLC, but like not a deal. Like, it's not big enough to call it a DLC, but there's actually like a story little thing you have to do, and then there's just a whole new mechanic they added. So basically what you do is you start off, and there's two like new features to it. One is like a battle kind of tournament thing you can do with Igneo, I think. Yeah, Igneo. And then there is the kind of main thing is called mass outbreaks. And what it is it's like multiple, like 10 to 12 outbreaks on the map at once, and it's like a timer. It's like a storm, basically.
Did they make it harder to shiny hunt then? Because I heard that they made it harder. For
they cut the odds a little bit, but it's still like...
It's still incredibly high.
It's still pretty good, like 1 in 200 or something like that, if you have everything or whatever. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I was really excited about that. I played that last night. I got 2 shinies. I got a shiny Kadabra and a shiny Duskull. And then...
Arceus.
Yeah. And so that's a cool new and that's going to really help me complete my deck. So that was a really cool announcement. Then we got, I believe it was the anime announcement, which actually sounds pretty cool. They're making a Legends Arceus anime.
It's an online only thing, right?
Yeah, it's going to be like a YouTube series, but it's like set in the Arceus world, and it's going to be kind of its own original thing, which is cool. And then we got to Gen 9, which was a really interesting announcement. Everybody at first thought it was like
Detective Pikachu 2. Honestly, I would have been fine with that as well. I love Detective Pikachu. I want to see a second one.
Yeah, I think there's definitely probably one of the worst.
I want one so bad.
But
Which will not include.
So they
so
announced Gen 9, and they officially confirmed on their website, and just through this screenshots and stuff, they showed that this is a true open world game. It's the first.
The towns don't even have loading screens.
No. So they've like clarified that on their website. Like they said that they say something on the website like walk seamlessly between towns and routes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So like, there's not even a loading screen to get into a town, which I think is super cool.
Yep. So it's completely open world, and they're really pushing that idea. Like on their website, they say open world a ton.
Zach wrote a novel.
But yeah, so we got a few, we get a few like little clips of the world, and it looks really cool. It's set in Spain, is like kind of the, region it's based on, and so with
Agree, Zach.
So this sounds like you.
The architecture is really cool. I like the whole like it looks almost like Delfino Plaza. I'm not gonna lie, from Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you played Sunshine?
I have not, but I've seen it.
Well, like the whole.
It also has a really good soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
For that area too.
Well, like that whole main town they showed off with like the square that has like all the types around it.
Yeah.
And like the tiles floor or whatever. It looks like Delfino Plaza, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I just love the architecture of it. I love the open world. I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with that, especially coming off Arceus, which kind of was like the transition into this, I think. But yeah, so we got that, and then we got these starters, which are sick.
Fuecoco for the win.
Yeah, Fuecoco.
I won't even look at the other
and what is the last? I can't ever say it.
Sprigatito.
Yeah.
Is it Toto or Tito?
Tito.
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. Yeah. So yeah, those are sick, and I'm excited to see what they evolve into.
Completely agree, Zach.
So just super quick, since we have acknowledged Zach's comment like 4 times, I'm going to read it here. He goes, I am hesitantly looking forward to Gen 9. My main problem is even from the trailer, it looks like the game was stuttering. The game looks awful, and I don't normally care for graphics, but Game Freak seems to be struggling to find a feel for 3D Switch games. I honestly think they need to go more stylized to match the Pokemon as compared to the odd pseudo-realism that they try to hit. I'm also worried that it's coming out too soon. That being said, I will probably get Scarlet and the Fire Starter. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, and I want the game to be amazing, but Game Freak has given me little to believe that they will deliver this time. Which sounds exactly like what you always say, Dan.
Yeah.
This is basically what Dan says
a
every time we
realist,
every
and I
time we talk
appreciate
about
it.
Nintendo. This is what Dan says. It's
No,
word for word. Almost.
Listen, I think I agree to an extent. There's spots in the trailer that look rough. There's some visual things that definitely look rough, but you also got to think that it's still almost a year away technically, because like sometime in November. So we still
it's like November 18th is my guess.
Yeah, sometime in there. And so we still got plenty of time for the game to get polished. And if you look at when Brilliant Diamond came out and Legends Arceus came out, like I know people still have issues with the visual of Legend Arceus, but from the first trailer to the like game coming out, there's still a lot of visual improvement that happened in that game. Whether you think it looked good in the end or not, there was still some huge leaps into the quality of visuals from the development of the game. So I think they're still going to touch some things up. Obviously, do I think it's going to be perfect? No. I mean, Pokemon's not known to get the visuals 100% right.
No.
But I think, it is looking really nice. I think there's a lot of promising things in the trailer they showed, such as like Survivor and Magnemite were two that stuck out to me, like that they're adding like textures, like more realistic textures to them. I think that's cool. Like Survivor's got scales, which is sick. That gives me like, kind of Pokemon Snap model designs feels, where they're like really detailed models, which I like. And then like, I know it's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to do, but like just adding the metallic look on Magnemite is cool. But yeah, I think it's gonna end up looking really good in the end. It's just gotta take time to get some of the kinks worked out. But
do you know what I'm actually really excited for? That's not the game, but also kind of is with it.
What's that?
We're gonna be getting a new set of cards.
That's what
Like-
the only thing I would care about.
Right? We've been in the Sword and Shield set forever.
I'm ready for new
So
sets.
the fact that we're gonna be finally moving on to the next set of cards is kind of fun too. But I am looking forward to it. I think open world is obviously how it's going to go, and I think with Legends Arceus we've seen a lot. With how the battle and catching mechanics and stuff, I feel like they're gonna bring some of that in, maybe not all of it.
Totally understand, Zach. You're not being overly negative. You're just being realistic, I guess, with what Game Freak has done in the past.
Yeah,
I
well,
totally understand.
I think the Switch
agree.
should be done with by now, but that's
Right, yeah.
that's a whole different topic for a whole different day.
Not even about the Switch. It's just.
Well, no, I mean to get because they obviously want to improve their games and they want things to look better, but at the same time they can't because they're limited.
No.
by what the Switch
They
is
don't
able to
care
do.
about their games looking better. I can tell you
No.
that for sure. That's a game company culture.
Yeah,
of
Nintendo.
They don't care about graphics.
Even if they did, I think I'd still argue like as much as I love Pokemon, they can do really pretty visuals on the Switch, and they've proved that with like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I mean, even Breath of the Wild, that's probably the best example, just because it's kind of really close to how Arceus feels.
We need Breath
in
of the
ways.
Wild 2 at some point.
It is coming.
I know.
Breath of the
but
Wild was
they've been
good
saying
with
that
like
for
the
3
cell shading and
years.
stuff, but all around, it was better than obviously Arceus and
Yeah.
stuff. But they still could have done a lot more with Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah.
It's just they limit themselves
Yeah.
in certain instances, and in other instances they just don't care because that's not their focus.
Yeah.
And just like you guys are really excited about the new Pokemon games. It's just gonna be another Pokemon game to me. I don't think they're gonna do anything different.
I
It
feel
looks
like,
like Sword and Shield, like the same style, open
Which
world.
I
sure.
liked.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean-
really like Sword and Shield.
I didn't mind Sword and Shield. I think
I think Sword and
Looking
Shield's
back
up
on
there
it,
as
it's
one of my
not-
top Pokemon
it's not
games.
bad. I wouldn't put it up there, but I would say it's better than X and Y, I think. But I don't know. I can't put it over like the classic, 2D games in my opinion. But I do not think it's a bad game. I do like Sword and Shield, but I don't think I could replay it anytime soon. It's kind of the same issue I have with Sun and Moon, is as much as I like the game, the replay value is not really there because of how slow paced it is.
For games that are like, the whole thing about Pokemon games are replay valuable, right? That's the whole purpose of them.
Yep.
Since quite a while ago, Gen 3 maybe, I couldn't care less about playing newer games again. Like,
I get that.
For what that's about, like, they're all about replay value. I don't ever want to replay them. I think it's the same old shtick all over again, adding maybe a little new thing. It's so old now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I
boring
get
to
it.
me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I see the way I play it though too, and going back to Sword and Shield is I like to do shiny hunting. So for me, just grinding out for shinies, there's something for me to do at least, so I don't have to
Sure,
replay
if
it.
that's your thing.
Yeah. No.
I don't
Sword
have
and
to replay it. I just am able to go through and actually.
Sword and Shield is actually really good for shiny hunting. There's actually some really cool mechanics you can do, and I think it's overall a really good game for shiny hunting.
Yeah.
But
I love like finding shinies and stuff. That's cool. Like, especially when it's odds that are crazy, But I've never been
the full
one.
odds?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
Not like Arceus is really easy,
yeah.
Yeah, Arceus is like way too easy.
I'm not one to spend weeks and months trying to find a shiny of a certain Pokemon. Like, that's not me. Like, that's not fun for me. So I understand that that's a big thing for a lot of people, and that's cool and stuff. But I don't get much out of the Pokemon series now. It's,
and
so I don't know. It's lost its luster.
Yeah, I get that.
So moving on to a more positive note, I guess.
Yeah.
Looking at the 3 starters, I'm going with Fuecoco. You cannot change my mind. I think he's going to be Ghost Fire.
Yeah.
Or Fire Ghost. I guess Fire would be primary. Ghost would be secondary.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Fuecoco as well.
And I'm super excited for that.
Sprigatito is kind of...
Sprigatito's cool.
Also,
and then
I think it's the most aesthetically pleasing.
And then Quaxley is just kind of a derpy duck, which I do like. I like the derpy.
I
Like
think
the dirty stuff.
I think they're all really
But
nice.
I
They
think
crap on the water starters every time.
they do.
Man.
We were talking about this before. We went to Wings before this, and we were talking about this on our way to Wings. They have not had a good water starter since Gen 3.
I disagree with
Mudkip
that.
was the last one, I think.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
I think Piplup's awesome. I
Piplup
think
sucks.
I don't like Empoleon.
Sorry.
I
just
think
don't think it's good.
No, I don't think he is either.
Greninja's amazing.
Greninja's
so
is
Froakie's
meh,
awesome.
Oshawott terrible. I hate that Pokemon, actually.
Oshawott is growing on me a lot.
Bad.
Oshawott has grown on me a lot. But
I don't like
think,
Froakie, to be honest, Zach.
I don't like
I
Froakie
think
that much either.
Greninja's
Yeah, I think
overrated.
Froakie's awesome.
But I think that the fire ones they normally have decent. The grass ones have been like I love
Fire
Grookey.
ones are like always the same thing.
See,
recently though.
Recently,
you know?
I love Grookies. Like they had a good grass one for me. Like I think Rillaboom is just awesome as a third
grass
one there.
are always pretty different.
Yeah,
I
which
think
I like.
They do the best with the grass ones.
Yeah.
But they've been some crap ones in there too. What is that one? Is it the same gen as Greninja? The grass.
Chestnut
Yes.
or
I don't like that
Chespin.
Is
would be the
that
original.
such a that might be
That's-
the worst Pokemon ever.
No.
That might just be. I honestly
like
think Magikarp would be a better starter than that.
I'd take it.
Because at least
Just give
Magikarp
me
evolves
Splash
into
would be
something
fine.
cool.
Yeah, no, I don't like. Gosh, I can't even think of it. I don't like Chespin or the other one, Finnegan. I think
Oh, yeah, I
Finnegan's
don't think
not
they're
great
good.
either. But no, I think this game has a lot going for it, and when it comes to the open world aspect, I think that is going to add to that replay value. You getting to go wherever you want. It's kind of a really cool idea, and just kind of seeing that kind of start off in a way in like Legends Arceus, and seeing how cool it was to walk around, like crouch and catch Pokemon. I think that's going to be still a feature in the game.
I don't think it will be.
I don't think
it will be either.
I don't think it's going to be as like fleshed out as Arceus, because that's kind of the main point of Arceus. But I think that you're still going to be able to go and run around and like throw your Pokeballs and throw Pokemon into battle. Like I think that mechanic's here to stay.
I don't know what they're gonna do because they can't do the same thing with Arceus because that it takes away that whole mechanic, which was the whole reason for Arceus, right? And I don't know. That's what made Arceus fun. Was that new mechanic, And because open world, it was open world, but I mean, it was, let's be honest, a fairly mediocre environment,
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that similar with the new games, and it takes away at least partial aspects of that, throwing your Pokeball, catching them in the grass and stuff like that, because you got to add battle somehow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it's going to be or how it's going to flow and work.
I think
we'll see, I guess.
I think it's going to flow just like it does in Arceus. I mean,
see, I'll be honest. I like the idea with Arceus where we were able to, yeet like 50 Pokeballs at 50 Pokemon, but at the same time, that does take away from what Pokemon kind of is.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know. It's a cool concept for a one-off game. I don't want it to be the new norm.
I think it is going to be. I think the idea of just being able to throw your Pokeball and like just like the anime, like that's something people have wanted forever, and I think for an open world game it works really well. The one thing I think won't stay is like how the dex works, and I hope that kind of is the case because
that was the whole purpose of Legends.
But
it wouldn't have a purpose. In the new game.
I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be perfect, honestly, if it was, exactly how Arceus is, where it's you run around, you got Pokeballs, you can throw your own Pokeball on at it to like get into battle, and then you would.
I don't think they can, because they're not gonna forsake battling.
Well,
like
no, you don't have to though, because like even in Arceus, they have battles throughout the game, and you could have trainers just like the past games, just standing there in the wild, and you run past them, and then you get in a battle with them. Like there's no
the whole
hindrance.
Seamless ability though, like you said, like you don't enter a new screen, in your battle like that. I don't think they can do that.
I think they could
outside of the battle.
I mean,
like
well, have you fought the what is it called? They're like the trio, like the evil trio from Arceus.
Chicks.
Like if you can find them randomly on the map.
Oh yeah, in that
and
one, Coastlands.
It's like this. It's in the same thing. Like in post game, like they're just scattered about randomly sometimes, and you run past them, and a battle starts with them, and it's seamless like that. I think that's exactly how it's going to work.
It kind of freezes the game.
A little bit. I mean, it's going to have
it's
like
not entirely seamless,
but it has like it goes cuts to them, and then it cuts to just the like open world battle where you can walk around and stuff. I think that's going to be how it's going to be. Is it's going to be trainers just scattered throughout the world, which is a really interesting idea too, because it's not like route based, so they're going to be just scattered like in this giant.
That does make me curious to know how they're going to do like the levels with progressing through the game.
It's going to be. I bet you it's going to be something along the lines of like, so you're by the first gym is going to be weaker trainers, then you get up to like the gym 8 area, you try to walk up there, it's like level 50s, 60s. And
but at that point though, what's from stopping you, and there's probably
if it's
nothing
open world though,
from
you can
going
go anywhere.
Or just like even if it's by this area of the open world is one.
Yeah.
But like, what's stopping you from getting your Pokemon to level 100? Fighting 7 gyms and then going back and just wrecking the first one.
There'll probably be some scaling thing where like
I bet it'll be level scaling.
I bet it'll probably
and they're not going to let you go to the last gym first.
See,
I don't think they're going to.
No,
they would have to do something to fix
Things
it.
will be locked.
I mean, out of order would be cool. Or just even being like, hey, the gym leader's not here yet. Like,
I bet you that's going to be.
You can go to places.
It's going to be like a check.
You won't be able to get in.
Yeah,
it'll be like the Elite Four check, where it's like you don't have all the badges, you can't be here. So it's like, oh, you don't have 6 badges, you can't fight the 7th gym.
Giovanni's not in the gym yet.
Yeah. It had to be something like that. I don't know.
Fantina's gone. That kind of stuff.
But no, I think it's really, and I like how in the trailer, if you look at it, there's like Pokemon centers just in the middle of the forest, like in just the wild.
It's like
that's cool.
I mean, it kind of always has been. It's just you never being able to see it like that.
Well, they're always in towns though, because they're always like part of the
town.
town.
They're right before like.
I mean,
there's caves and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I guess there's a couple.
Caves.
There's a bunch
I guess
that are out in, like, the middle of nowhere.
That's
right
true. Gen 1 has
a forest or something.
Yeah.
Gen 1 has a couple of those. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess.
What's the cave? Is it Mount Moon?
Yeah,
in Gen 1, and then you have.
Even in
there's another one
Diamond
too.
and Pearl, they have one right before a route that you have to go through.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are like that. I'm pretty sure.
What's the other place in Gen 1? That's gonna bug me. Right by the power plant. Yeah, Rock Tunnel. There you go. So there's 2 of them I can think of in Gen 1.
There's a bunch.
But it's just cool.
It's not new.
Yeah, but it's just really cool to see that like this seamless world of like getting closer to like. I mean, obviously they're not going for it, but like Pixelmon, like a lot of those ideas of like
I'm so excited
going into villages and finding them.
Pixelmon,
it's like that's cool, and so to see that.
What do you mean it's dumb?
A lot of those ideas come into.
If I want to play Pokemon, I'll play Pokemon. I don't want to play that on Minecraft.
Dude, it's so much fun though when you can like build your own gym and just kind of do whatever. I adore Pixelmon. You will never change my mind on that. It is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I like Pixelmon just for the Pokemon aspect. I play it more of a Pokemon game than I do Pixelmon. So like I'll go around, catch Pokemon, shiny hunt or whatever, and then like look for gyms. But yeah, I think we're getting close to that idea of like just exploring this massive open world, and I think it's gonna be really cool. And it adds to the, like I was saying earlier, it kind of adds to the replay value because there's so much more options for teams now. And I think the level scaling does make sense instead of having like just a bunch of powerful Pokemon towards the end and you catch one and like, oh, you just beat the game with one massively powerful Pokemon.
Yeah.
It makes sense to kind of scale it based on level or whatever. Well, you could go to the like final routes and just like sneak your way up there and get one of like the dragon types and use it. Like that's one of my biggest issues of the Pokemon series is like there's a lot of Pokemon that are really sick. I think Gen 4 struggles with this a lot. Is like there's Pokemon that are really cool, but you can't use them in your playthrough because they're locked behind items you can't get through post game or like levels that are just too insane that you just can't get them by time you face Elite Four and stuff.
So you just brought up Dragon type and it just popped this memory in my head. I think I saw a Dratini statue in that trailer.
Yeah,
and I am so pumped to get Dragonite in that game to be on my team. I don't know. I love
and see,
Dragonite.
that's the thing. You could do that. You could legitimately potentially start with it. Like you could go catch one right away and then dump your starter, and like
I'm not getting rid of Fuecoco.
I know, but I'm
he's
just
my
saying,
boy.
You could do that.
He's a ghost pepper.
Like there's not many other games in Pokemon that you can literally catch a Dragon type right off the bat
against the essence of Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't do it. I've never done it, but like I just love the idea.
You're my firstborn. I disown you for life.
You'll
be locked in a PC forever.
Yeah. I just love the idea of being able to really diversify your team, and kind of get access to the whole decks, most of the decks, I should say, instead of just what the game wants you to have at that point.
There will be certain amounts of that regardless. They're not gonna. I don't think they'll let you get everything right away.
No. I think
like there's going to be level scaling for catching Pokemon too.
There might be, but I'm still excited for it.
But I just think it's cool to like be able to diversify your team a bit to like where you're not like for the first gym locked behind the first like traditional like Pidgey-clone, Rattata-clone, stuff like that. Like you have more options. Like you could go, oh, there's like mountains over here. You could go catch, an Abomasnow, but like a Snover or whatever, and use that on your team. And that's something that usually you can't get to like late game, and just giving you, options to use that you can't typically use on a normal playthrough of games. But yeah, I think it's gonna be super sick. Really looking forward to it. There's also one other thing I want to touch on is there's a lot of like discussion going around of like, okay, what's the mechanic of this game, right? Because each game kind of has its own mechanic, like Mega Evolution, Gigantamax, stuff like that.
And I haven't been thrilled with any of those.
I think Mega Evolution
awesome. Was way better than Gigantamax.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. But they are saying there's a lot of rumors going around that just has to do with some like star piece thing, because if you look at the Japanese logos, they have like a star, like this kind of star symbol in the logo, and like each previous Japanese logo has had the like.
Would you say that they're a brilliant star?
Zach.
They have like that's stupid.
Starbirth.
They've had like some.
This is new Pokemon card set.
They've had like some iteration of like the gimmick of the generation in the logo, like Gen 6 they had like the Mega Stone incorporated into it, and if you actually watch the trailer back, this like star logo appears a few other times. So we'll see what that kind of looks like. I hope they bring back Megas. I don't think they will. I kind of think they've delegated that to kind of like their side game stuff, which I kind of hate because I think Mega Evolution is amazing.
I think the battle gimmicks, I think they're all kind of crap. Like you said, they're gimmicks. I think that's a negative thing. I think it's a very lazy way of trying to add something new into the battle mechanics. I don't think it works.
Yeah, I think
Megas were the closest, were the best.
I think they were perfect. I think they were actually really cool step up for the series, and I wish they would have kept going with them. Z moves were all right. I think their luster wore off a little bit too quick for me. Like it was cool seeing these really awesome animations, but then like it kind of just got old.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a little bit, you know.
Now, here's a question: do you think that the power and the agile style moves are going to make its way?
No,
into this?
I think that was a. I think
that's
that's
the gimmick for Arceus. Okay.
I think that's a Legends Arceus because this is going to be this is Gen 9, so this is going to be the next step in the competitive, and that whole battle style of like strong and agile is cool, but it doesn't work for competitive Pokemon because it breaks the game so much. Like you could literally there's times where in Legends Arceus you can attack 4 times without
dumb.
getting the other person getting a turn.
That
like
only worked for Arceus because battling is so crazy powerful.
Well, I guess if you can
And
have like a
everything
1v5
destroyed
and stuff.
everything.
Yeah, and it's also
That's the only way.
it's also a solo game, so like
Yeah.
you're able to cheese some of that stuff and get away with it instead of like in a competitive nature it's not possible. So they're definitely going back to just normal stuff, and they've already confirmed abilities are coming back because they have the starters have their abilities. They're just a generic Blaze, Torrent, and whatever I can't think of the grass one right now, but so it's gonna be the same kind of traditional format for battling, I think, that we are used to from like Sword and Shield, kind of getting upgraded and updated a little bit for Gen 9 like competitive. But yeah, I think definitely the battle style thing is a thing of the past.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see when it comes out. Probably in November would be my guess.
Yeah,
they didn't put a release date. I'm guessing it's going to be
100%
mid-November.
November.
End of 2020.
They've always released November. Like,
what did I say? I think like November 18th.
That's what I've heard too. Because what would that be?
That'd be a Friday, so it's definitely going to be November 18th.
Yeah, November 18th or 11th maybe, but either one of those.
Why Scarlet and Violet? Is that an homage to Red and Blue?
See, I've heard that. I've heard that it's kind of like this might be a soft reboot, and like,
you know what? They have Dratini. That's all I care about. So,
which, either way, I think it's cool. I like going back to colors. We haven't gone to colors since Gen 5, since Black and White. So it's been
a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had colors. And
so absence of color and all color.
But
so not really.
But
still technically something to do with color.
Yeah, I've heard that too, Zach. The ultraviolet and infrared. We'll see. I think it's going to definitely. It's all based on the legendaries for these games. That's
which they haven't shown yet.
Typically, what it is. So
good ones.
I'm excited to see them.
They haven't had good ones in a while.
I haven't think.
I don't know. I like Zamazenta and Zacian a little bit.
I mean, they're cool, but they don't seem like they're the main legendaries. They almost seem like
the last really cool ones.
The last really cool ones.
I think so too.
Rayquaza.
Giratina was really sick. I don't really Dialga and
Palkia I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Dialga Palkia.
I don't think Arceus is that great.
Arceus is sick. Let's see. Gen 5. I liked Reshiram and Zekrom actually. Kyurem is pretty sweet. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Gen 6, Yveltal and Xerneas are pretty cool.
I was never a huge fan.
And then let's see.
They're kind of strange for Pokemon.
Solgaleo and Lunala are pretty cool. I like them. I like the idea of like they come
from the same thing.
Yeah, they're like an evolution. Like that was a really cool idea for
that. I appreciate the branching evolution. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think that the thing's exactly worth the greatest Pokemon, but
yeah,
And then and then we got Zamazenta and Zacian, which I thought were okay.
We should probably at some point be moving on though, because it is 7:30.
I think that pretty much covers what I kind of want to talk about.
Really excited, fairly excited. We'll see what happens.
I'm more super excited for right now
cards.
just because of Fuecoco and the cards.
I'm always excited for cards.
I can only imagine that Fuecoco, because it fits my branding so well. When you with the spicy food, it's a derpy Pokemon.
I just dumb.
Yeah, it does. He's derpy, which that mixed with a hot pepper.
Starters always look dumb.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love it.
I can already picture this anime.
A cool starter.
It's an anime adaptation. It's gonna be just like Ash's Totodile. Like if you remember that from back in the day,
flips out,
just like on crack all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be Fuecoco in the anime.
I'm all for it. So, anyway, speaking